All right.
Started.
This is Team Six's Scenario 220 report on our planning and how it actually played out in reality. I am Michael Fahey with pricing, and there's also
Um,
Hagen Davis with production and James Dumas with loans and inventory management. So to start with the plan that we had for pricing, for Edgar Ale, the plan was to go into the scenario and we were going to keep the price at $14 a month till September, with the exception of March and April, where it was held at 14.50, and then it was raised to 14.50 in the month of September, back to 14.50 in the month of September until the year's end. For Taj Mahal, we began with keeping the price at 17.75, keeping it that way until June and July, where it was brought down to 17.70, and then right after that, we put it back up at 17.75, and then the next month, which is September, went back down to 17.50, or went down again to 17.50. And for Alley Cat, was a little more had a little more variability throughout the year, lots of changes. The plan was to start with 15.50, and then in February bring it to 15.75, and then in March we brought it again up to 16, and then in May 16.50, and then we held it there until the middle of the summer, which in August we brought it to back to 16, and then one last time it was after that it was lowered to 15.50, and then we kept it that way until the end of the year. In reality, it did not necessarily go like that. What we ended up doing, based more off of being reflexive to what was being shown to us during the simulation, for Edgar Ale, we did start at 15.50. And then we kept it there till midsummer, July, where we brought it to 14.50, and then we brought it down to October at 14, and then November 13.75, and then we changed it twice in December, starting the month at 13 and then ending it at 12.75. For Taj Mahal, we started at 16.50, we brought it up pretty quickly to $17, kept it that way till June, 17.50, had it there till November, and then we had kind of a rapid decrease in the last 2 months of the year. 6 price changes in 2 months, bringing it down about 50 cents each time, and then 25 cents the last time. Finishing at 14.75. And then for Alley Cat, the price changes. Well, we started at 15.50, brought it very briefly in March down to 15, brought it up to 15.50 again in April, and in May we brought it up to 17. And then things got kind of crazy here for a second with Alley Cat. We had a ton of variability with this, just like in the plan, but then this is even beyond that. What we're seeing here. So in June, 16.75, 16.50, 16.25, and then we pretty much lowered it very steadily until the end of the year. I mean, we went 16, 15, 50, 15, 14.75, 14. We hiked it back up to 16 in September, given the demand that we were facing, and then it started to go down again. 15.50, 15, 14.75 in October. Ended up starting November with 12.50, and then finishing December with 11.75. And so, as you guys can see with this, at the end of every year, we brought the prices down a lot every time, and that was just to free up whatever remaining product that we had, because we had to sell it all, as I'm sure you guys are aware. So that's what the gist of the whole pricing, our plan, and then the reality of what occurred.
all right, for production, for Taj, prior to the simulation, our plans were to produce 3,500 bottles a month, January to March. After that, we plan to raise them to 4,500 a month and just let it sit there for the rest of the year. Alley Cat, our plan was to start the production at 5,500 bottles a month until March, and then April we raised it to 7,000 a month until August, and then for the final months of the year we cut it down to 3,000 for the rest of the year. Edgar, our plan for Edgar for the first 3 months was to produce just under around 2,000 bottles a month because the planning it's a little more difficult to get a hard number on Edgar. But after our new fermenters, we raised that about 500 a month, so that's a one more order every other, and that we did that up until September, where we planned to produce 3,700. And then in October to December, we plan to produce right around 6,000 bottles a month. And could do it. Yep. And then for the reality, I mean, we were able to keep our Taj pretty consistent because you're not changing a whole lot so we just dropped it a little more than we were anticipating in the final month and a half just because we had too much on inventory on hand. We were able to follow our alley cap, same thing, but just that had to lower it further than we were expecting at the end of the year. And then Edgar, we mistakenly missed some orders, and that caused us to get some lost sales. So that's what really brought us down that last 220 run was those lost sales.
Okay. During the simulation of our presentation, we did take a loan that was given as an option to us for $40,000 used towards the extra fermenter. We did this because having an extra fermenter allowed us to create more product, and with that, we can keep up with demand better, especially during the summer months when we get the big boost, the big demand for alley and all that. So the credit that we had, the status in our that allowed us to get a fair interest rate, and then with a price cap at around $165,000, we didn't have to take that much. It wasn't really necessary. We just took enough to cover the cost of the fermenter. And the payment of the loans was split into three. Obviously, there's interest, as in most loans. That's how they make their money. But it was a payment in the beginning when we first, for the fermenter is what I'm speaking of. For the fermenter, when we first purchase it, we have to pay another half when it's halfway done, and then we pay the final payment when it's fully completed. So that loan helped us be able to spread out the money and have enough during those times so we don't go into debt while we're trying to produce more products. And then, as any business must, we have to adequately maintain and monitor our inventory. This is for the sole purpose to ensure that we have enough product in hand so we can sell it to the customers and not lose sales, because that's how we lose money. This was done by reading the trends of the previous years along with the trends we've seen through the previous sims that we've done, the other two that we've done. So that kind of helped us map out strategically how much we need to have at the beginning of which month, how much we need to have at the end of the month, how much we should have, etc., things like that. We also were able to control our inventory with the added addition of us being able to control the prices. So if we were low on something, we could increase the prices, therefore reducing the demand, and we're going to have more of it. So that's about it.
That's all. Any final notes, guys?
I don't believe so. I think we just gotta keep improving upon our mistakes, and we'll do fine.
Yeah, we're going on the right track. We're fine.
Yeah. Great. All right. Love that. Thanks, guys.